Hey, it's David. First time making a YouTube video about finance. Been thinking about this for a while. No idea where this will go, but figure I'll give it a shot, and at least I'll have it as a record for myself. So, anyways, I want to talk about one of my favorite ideas. Had a conversation on Twitter over the weekend, and just wanted to record it for everyone. Idea is around cannabis, blue wave happening here with President, Senate, House all going Democrat. So expect maybe legalization or at least some things to pass here shortly. And we can go into what will happen and what it's going to mean for the industry. But more so want to talk about an insight that I had and um, how I feel about it. So real quick, we've got Todd, who's one of the advisors for the ETF I'm talking about, MSOS. It basically is multi-state operators for cannabis. So these are U.S. companies that should be like the big winners here if we do get some laws change. And I love everything Todd says. He's giving me tons of conviction to stay with this trade and even put more money into it as we go. But I noticed that the ETF is actually trailing some of the biggest underlying positions. So besides that, I also have some specific positions, just like, I like the CEO or whatever, but I felt like the ETF, is diversified. There's active management there, so maybe it'll perform a little bit better than myself, which I just know what these people say. I don't actually uh, know as much as them. But it was strange to me that the ETF was performing lower than some of their biggest positions. Noah replied, he's like the CEO of Advisor Shares that I guess owns the ETF, MSOS. And I didn't really get what he was saying, saying you can't really do it with individual stocks, but didn't really make sense to me. But I'm glad that this guy Alan, I don't know Alan, responded, and he had a similar insight as me and grabbed some of the same companies and some more. And then he and I did some more down here because Noah basically said, look, we held like 20 stocks in that ETF, so some of them were going to weigh it down. And Noah just kept adding me more and more and was like, yeah, that's not really the case. I mean, all these individual names from a weight perspective are doing pretty well. I mean, there might be a couple that are dilutive to the performance, but not really. And so then Todd came back in here. He's basically like, you shouldn't really think about it as like, even though the weighting is towards the big names, but he's calling them the FANG of cannabis, which just means like the big tech companies. But he's using it as an analogy for the big multi-state operators, saying, look, like you can't really think of it like that. And I think what we get to is that they're basically having to use swaps and other instruments to own some of these assets. So there's some costs there. There's also some slippage. Alan mentions when the portfolio manager buys it, there's a management fee. So there's other costs involved. But it comes down to, at the end of the day, Todd says alpha should win. And look, everything I read from Todd is like, this guy knows his stuff. So I'm happy to keep owning the ETF. The other thing is I have the ETF in my both retirement account and my trading account. So I mean, maybe I'll think about swapping out of my retirement account into something else, like some of the actual names if the performance continues to lag. But we'll see. In the individual account, it's like I'm not trading it out of it because of tax purposes. So for now, I'm just in, and we'll just keep track. But I'll link down to this. I'll link to this in the description of the video. Overall, I thought it was a great discussion. Still highly recommend cannabis, and if you're not up to date, like the MSOS ETF for sure should be a big winner. And I'll go through another video, really why I believe that. So I don't know if I said this, but not a financial advisor. Don't take any of this. Don't trade off this advice. This is what I'm doing. This is what I'm thinking. So yeah, hopefully I'll keep posting videos and give me comments, feedback. We'll see where this is in a year. If not, it's just for me. So that's cool.